The next thing I tell myself is get away from your college town. If you're about to graduate college or you've recently graduated, my advice is don't stay in that same city. By staying in that same city, you're basically associating yourself with other college students, even though you've already graduated. And I really think that your growth is going to be limited. Rather, move somewhere else. It doesn't need to be that far, but I'd recommend maybe at least 20, 30 miles away and start over there, right? Build a new identity. You're no longer a college student. And if you do stay in the same city as where your college is, you'll have the same friends. You'll still be in that student mindset. And most of all, you're just not really exploring the world. And so for me, I stayed in West LA after graduating college for 5 years. And that's definitely one of my big regrets because even though I made a lot of really great friends in the area, I was always so close to UCLA that I think subconsciously, I was still sort of like a college student. That definitely held me back. So if you are in a similar situation, I really encourage you guys, try moving somewhere else. The next thing I'd tell myself is, Charlie, you're spending way too much time on social media. You guys probably already know how much time you're spending on your phone, on Instagram, TikTok, and other platforms like that. And if you really stop and think about it, that's actually a huge chunk of your life. Social media places too many false expectations on us. We always think that we're behind because we're comparing our everyday lives with the highlight reels of people that we don't actually care about. And overall, we just need to spend less time on our phones and more time connected with other humans in person, as well as exploring the world. Social media is a thing that's so comfortable to do, but with that comfort means you're wasting so much time. You're not actually going out and doing things that are actually fun. And so yeah, if I could go back into my 20s, one thing I would do is use an app like ClearSpace. This is the only app that's really worked for me to reduce my screen time and just embrace being present and not always on your phone. The next thing I tell myself is that you actually don't know anything. I want you guys to think about how much new information and experiences you're learning every single day. Now that I'm 30 and I actually start subtracting what I learn every single day all the way until I'm 20 years old, it makes sense that I actually didn't really know anything. And I think the quicker you realize this, the more you can actually embrace reading, learning, and not thinking that you've already peaked in knowledge, because trust me, you haven't. If I had embraced this mindset when I was in my 20s, I would have started reading way earlier. I would have started paying attention to people doing better than me, and both my personal as well as business growth would have progressed way, way faster. And so the faster you think, okay, I don't know things, I can be a student for the rest of my life, the more you'll actually learn, the more different things you'll absorb. And guys, the world is so vast. No one knows everything. I honestly think I probably know 0.1% of things out there. And so yeah, I still feel like I know nothing. I'm 30, I'm 10 years older than I was when I was 20 years old. I probably doubled my knowledge, but still in the grand scheme of things, I really don't know anything. So please take that, run with it. That's gonna make you not cocky. That's gonna make you actually want to learn things. Don't be dead set in your opinions. Always be open to what other people are saying. And yeah, that'll just make you have a more fulfilling and growth-oriented life. The next big regret is not taking care of my body. And if you guys saw pictures of me, I looked super, super fit. You know, I was working out almost every single day, but I was really neglecting a lot of things that eventually caught up to me. So when you only lift to look good and get muscles, you're probably gonna be neglecting a lot of different things. And yeah, it's all okay when you're in your 20s, your body is very adaptable, but that's definitely gonna catch up to you once you turn 30. I used to lift super heavy. I used to deadlift a lot. My form was not always that great. I didn't prioritize stretching. I didn't prioritize cardio. And so by the time I reached my mid to late 20s, I actually experienced a lot of pain with my body, and that all could have been preventable. Guys, we're talking about pain that is so bad where I would wake up in the middle of the night and be crying. And so if I could go back to my 20s, I'd tell myself, you don't need to lift the biggest weight possible. You need to lift for health, and you need to stretch, and you need to warm up. Basically, you have to be more well-rounded as an athlete rather than just focus on weightlifting and things like that. I'd also tell myself, Charlie, wear more sunscreen. You're gonna start aging, you're not gonna like it, and sunscreen is literally one of the best things and easiest things you guys can do to reduce how fast you age. Just don't think that your body is invincible and that you can do a bunch of dumb shit right now and get away with it. Yes, you can get away for it in your 20s, but that shit is gonna catch up to you later on, I guarantee it. The next thing I tell myself is that your 20s are going to fly by. Seriously, I cannot believe that I'm 30 years already. I still remember the day I graduated college when I was 21, and literally, you guys, time just went by so fast. Every single 60-year-old billionaire out there would trade all their money to be 20 years old again. So if you're in your 20s, just be grateful that you're young. You still have so much life to live. Even for me, I'm only 30 years old, but I would still trade all my money to be 20 years old again. Your time is that valuable. It's the only thing that you really can't get more of. And so yeah, cherish it, take advantage of it, and spend your 20s doing things that empower you and fulfill you. And the last thing I tell myself is that money does not equal happiness. I used to think that money was the secret elixir to life and that if I had more money, I'd be way happier. But the thing is that I was just as happy completely broke in my early 20s versus right now being a multi-millionaire in my 30s. As long as you have your basic necessities covered, then the amount of money in your bank account really doesn't affect your happiness that much. In fact, I think that having too much money can actually be pretty detrimental. Your baseline dopamine goes from here to here since you're able to do nice things all the time. And when that happens, then this becomes the new this. For example, the best feeling I've ever had buying a car was the first new car that I leased for myself. It was a BMW 330i, and the euphoria that I felt driving that car home was more than me getting my Ferrari, Range Rover, i8 combined. It's actually pretty sad because I feel like my baseline dopamine has gone up. And so things that used to be super amazing are no longer amazing. And yeah, that definitely is one big regret I have with chasing money. So yeah, there's no need to chase money, you guys. Just chase happiness. Anyways, if you guys stayed this long in the video, I want to say thank you. I hope that my stories inspired you or gave you a new perspective on your life. If you're in your 20s, you're in this chapter of your life that so many people would die to go back to. And so yeah, it's really your responsibility to take advantage of this chapter, live every day to the best, make mistakes, fail at different things, get out of your comfort zone, embrace some of the lessons and mindsets I talked about in this video. And yeah, just the fact that you guys are watching content like this puts you ahead of the pack.